Hello, good evening. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. My name's Heather. I'm the Songbird Stamper. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator from Fareham in the UK. And I'm here most Thursday nights when I'm not working for a little bit of live crafting with you. So welcome, thank you for coming on. And if you're watching on the replay, welcome to you too. So I thought we'd have a bit of a play with the Leaves of Holly stamp set. The Hollyberry dies. We're going all in today. We're going to use the whole suite of products. So I've got this gorgeous paper. I keep my papers in 12 by 12 Western boxes for anybody curious to know. But this is some gorgeous paper. Hello, Carrie. How are you doing? All right. Hey, Anne-Marie. Nice to see you tonight. So I might have a bit of glare going on. Let's just see if I can get rid of that. So we've got this gorgeous paper. Some brilliant designs. Hey, Lisa. Nice to see you tonight. Bit of cardstock mixed in there. Excuse that. This is sweet. I'm actually using for a stamp camp coming up in October. So if you're kind of stuck with your Christmas crafting, if you buy the suite from me, which is these papers, the stamps, the dies. Oh, and you get this ribbon as well. This is gorgeous, gorgeous ribbon. Ah, just had me pop up. Nice to see you. I know I pre-planned it for once and put it on a schedule, so don't always get around to doing that in time. So yeah, if you purchase the suite off me, you actually get all of this, and you get the make and take packs to make 13 cards, bonus dedicated Facebook group, all the videos, bonus products, challenges, all sorts, all thrown in free. So it's fab value. And you've got these gorgeous wooden elements as well. Hey, Anita, how you doing? Hello, Louise. Nice to see you again today. I haven't unpacked. I had a class earlier today. I haven't unpacked. You'll be surprised to know. So yeah, I thought I'd get this out. The stamp camps are always really popular, but no worries if you don't want to join. You just want to hop on and watch what we're going to make. But if you do want to join, then it's a really, really good way of getting loads of inspiration and ideas, all using the same suite from lots of different demonstrators all around the world. And it's all recorded content. So, right, where shall we start? Where shall we start? Hello, lovely. How are you doing? All right. That's Kim. Hey, Kim. So let's start. I've got a couple of cards we can make, and it's going to be, I'm going to show you a bit of stepped up. So I was at kind of team training the other day, and we were talking about sketches and sketch challenges and where to start, and we had an idea. We had an idea of where we were going to kind of start. I'll bring the card in, and that's the one I made. And I'm going to show you how to make this one and then how to step it up as well, how to add in lots of different elements and textures and things like that, and kind of show you my process for going from, I mean, really effective but quite a simple card to a really extravagant stepped up version. So couple of different stamp sets. I'm going to be using Ring with Nature and Apple Harvest, along with the Leaves of Holly stamp set, dies, and the main colours we've got are Evening Evergreen and that's Cherry Cobbler. I think it's Cherry Cobbler. So first things first, we need an Evening Evergreen card base. So I will grab that. I'm not organised. I thought I was. But as always, I'm not. So, a little piece of cardstock here. We're going to cut this. My normal size card base is 14.5. I'm going to cut 2 just while I'm here. 14.5 by 21. So a sheet of A4 cardstock. You're always going to get 2 UK standard size card bases out of. And then we'll score that one. So I hope you've all had a nice day. Whatever you've been up to. Getting ready for the weekend. Chilling, Thursday night chill. My other half is racing with his friends on a Thursday night on the computer, not out in the cars. But they get together online on the computer, so it's a perfect opportunity for me to hop online with you guys and do some crafting. So that's our card base. Then I've got some basic white just behind me. And we're going to cut this one to, my thing always falls out. Naughty little scorer. We're going to cut this to 14 centimetres by 10 centimetres. We want 2 of those as well. You'll need one for the inside of the card as well. I haven't actually done the inside of these cards. I should do. What you should do is when you make a card, do the inside as well, because it's quite a dark card base. You need to pop a layer on the inside so that you can write on it. But yeah, I'm terrible at not doing that straight away. And then it comes to a time when I want to write the card and I can't because I need to put the inside in. So I should learn from my mistakes and do it straight away. Hello, Claire. How are you doing this evening? Keeping well, I hope. So I'm just going to pull in a little bit of designer series paper. I'm going to need this one. This is awesome for fussy cutting. So we're going to cut some of these flowers out tonight. And then I've just got, I love this one. To be honest, when I first saw this paper, I wasn't overly enamoured. I had to buy it all for the stamp camp. And I was like, oh, but I don't really like it. And actually, the more I've used it, I really like it. The designs are quite bold, so you might not want to use all of it. I'm looking for one that I should have cut a sheet of. There we go. That one's already been used. Stamp camp is £74.50, Anne-Marie. So that's the price of the suite. That's just the price of the suite, £74.50. And the actual day is on the 29th of October. But it's all recorded. So if you wanted to join us live, I know you did last time. You were amazing the last time you did stamp camp. Stayed up most of the day. That's 24 hours worth of crafting. But you don't have to. It is all recorded. It is all recorded. 29th of October and £74.50 for the stamp camp. So 2 centimetres. I'm going to cut this to. And I've cut it so that the strip is horizontal, like the stripies are coming down. Oh, prezzo. Oh, lovely. Oh, you happen to bump into some friends. Isn't that funny? I bet that was lovely. Did you bump into them while sat down eating or just walking around? I thought so. Looked really nice. I must admit, I went blackberry picking this afternoon. Not the greatest blackberries out there this year again because of the dry weather we've had. But... So again, I'm cutting 2 of these because we're going to want 2. The cards are really, really similar, but massively one's massively stepped up. Basically just throwing the kitchen sink at it. So we're going to cut 2 of those. And while I've got the paper out, we do a nice easy bit of fussy cutting. Oh no, problems with your car. My car has got its MOT tomorrow, and I had a phone call earlier today to say, oh, can you reschedule? I was like, no, not really. I wish I could, but I've left it really late and it really needs doing. So they are still going to see me tomorrow. So fingers crossed. I'm just going to cut that off as well. So even though the ones that have gone off the edges, don't write them off because you can still use them. You just can't. You just have to tuck something over the top of that one. So we'll just cut out this one to start with. This really single, really beautiful design. This one. So the link to purchase this suite is in the bottom of the video as well, just in case I forgot to tell everybody that. So if you wanted to purchase this suite and join the stamp camp, the link is in the description of the video below, or just get in touch. Give me a shout. You know Christmas, somebody said to me today at class, it was quite funny. They said, you know Christmas has come when you break out the cherry cobbler ink. How true is that? Hello, Mary. How are you this evening? Yeah, you know Christmas has come when you break out the cherry cobbler ink. It's such a Christmassy colour. Oh, lovely, Anita. Oh, that's nice. So you'd met them after you'd eaten and while you were taking photographs. That's quite nice, actually, because if you bump into people when you're eating, it's a bit awkward, isn't it? It's like, oh, I'm trying to eat my dinner. Don't really want to go cold while I sit here and chat to you. I haven't been out for dinner for a while, actually. So there's quite a lot of splodges around this, which is gorgeous. I love this paper. Oh, hey, Brenda from North Carolina. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. I hope all's good in the world over with you in North Carolina. But yeah, I was just going to say, this spotty paper, don't get put off by that and fussy cutting around it. You think, oh, but it's got dots all over it. Honestly, you won't notice. By the time you've cut it all out and stuck it on your background that we're going to do, it's going to be great. But yeah, when I first saw it, I was like, oh, what am I going to do about fussy cutting around that bit? So don't get off put. Just go for it. Oh, you had a Nando's? Very nice indeed. Spicy or not spicy? I don't really do spice. We've had a Nando's once when we went out to Oxford, I think it was, of all places, to try Nando's. Okie doke. So what we've got is our card base. So our mat that's going to go on, and this piece of DSP is just going to stick down the bottom like this. And I've brought in the Apple Harvest. It's got this really cute kind of background stamp. If you haven't got this, obviously you can use any other background stamp that you've got. Most of our stamp sets, or loads of our stamp sets, have got little background pieces in, which are lovely for creating just a bit of extra, I call it texture, in the cards. My blocks are in need of a little bit of a wash, I think. And I've got the Evening Evergreen stamp pad. Oh, we really liked Nando's when we went, I must admit. Yeah, I did really enjoy it. So I'm not going to stick this down yet. I'm just using it as a bit of a guide as to where I want my stamping. And I'm going to try and stamp this straight. I'm just going to stamp some of it off. I don't want it full strength because it's only a background piece. I actually just want it quite subtle. So I'm not re-inking. Yeah. And I'm just going to kind of keep going. The hardest part is kind of thinking where to go. And you've got to loosen your inhibitions and just go with it. And then just kind of have a think. Where's my flower going to go? What am I going to see over and above the top of this? I'm going to have a leaf coming out the top here as well. So I'm just going to put stamped off again. I think I'm just going to do another bit up there and maybe a bit coming out here. And then I'm going to leave it. Oh, it's a bit nerve-wracking, isn't it? Stamping like that onto a piece of white cardstock. Surprisingly nerve-wracking. Even for me, and I do an awful lot of stamping. So, yeah, it can be a bit nerve-wracking. You just got to go, be brave and go for it. So I'm going to be good and clean that off. And the other stamp that I had was, let me just grab it. This Merriest Moments. I really like this. You see? Kind of splodgy, what is it? Bit of background. Dots and stars and things like that. I really like that. And we're going to do that. I'm going to do that in Soft Succulent. I really want this to be barely noticeable. And I'm just stamping off, stamping over, giving myself a nice bit of texture. We'll go with that and see what it looks like. You had a chicken pita and salad and chips with lemon. Oh yes, lemon and herb is really nice. You haven't got the paper, but you do like the last two pieces. Yes, there's some of it that's really, really nice and some of it that's a bit dark. But if you use the dark stuff like in just small batches, I actually think it's really, really nice. I've warmed to it, Kim, as is often the case. The more I've used it. Yeah, I don't think I necessarily would have chosen the paper, but it was for the stamp camp, like I say, and I needed to have it. I needed to work with it. So yeah, I started to grow some form of an affinity. I am using the Apple Harvest crisscross. I'm going to tempt Emma one way or another. My glue's been through the ringer today in class. A bit messy, but all good. All good. And then I'm just going to glue this on down the bottom, leaving a little bit of it. Oh, you can't see. Oh, sorry. Leaving a little bit of a border. My camera's obviously further away from me today. Is that straight? Kind of straight. There we go. Yeah, lemon and chicken. Oh, make us hungry now. I had a spaghetti bolognese for tea tonight. Okie dokie. So the other thing I've got is, I'm just going to see if I've got a spare one, because there we go. So this is the leaf. I should stamp it, but I'm being really lazy. So this is the leaf from here. Now what you get with this stamp set is two little bits and bobs. Oh, you had a spaghetti bolognese as well. It's our classic go-to meal. Don't know what to have. Spaghetti bolognese. So this stamp set, you get the kind of these background ones, and then you get these stamp over ones with the more detail, but you don't have to use both of them together. So this is where I've just stamped using this image here, because I wanted that white space underneath. If you wanted to fill it in with more colour, you could absolutely do that. And I will just show you what that looks like. Why not? Because we're here to play, aren't we? So we've got two stamps. Let's go Evening Evergreen, and I'll just do it on the background paper. Grab a bigger block. So with the kind of more detailed one, the less detailed one, the more kind of outliney one, I would probably stamp that off first. So you get this kind of thing. I think Nando's Amory do different strengths of spiciness, and they do a really mild lemony herb one. I always thought it was spicy as well, but you can choose your, I think that's the whole ethos of it. Somebody will correct me if I'm wrong, but is that you get to choose your spicy level. So because this is a photopolymer stamp set, you can see through, so we can line this up, she says. I better get it wrong now. And you can stamp that over the top, and you get that kind of detail come through. So you can get that kind of two-tone effect. Really, really adds a bit of depth and dimension. Like I say, you don't have to do that. I haven't done that on this one, and look how they differ. I really just wanted that light kind of look. And I want to show you how quickly a card can come together with this sweet. And I'm just going to go those two, one like that, one like that. Again, you can't see, sorry. One's going to go down with this one underneath. It's just going to go down with some glue. This one's going to go on with dimensionals. So a lot of people are unsure really whether you can stick the designer series paper down with dimensionals. You can. I normally put more on than when I'm just using card, especially if it's a nice Christmas card that you want somebody to kind of cherish. You don't need to back it with card, but it just might sag a little bit because it's not quite as strong as the cardstock. So just pop a few more of those dimensionals on if you're going to pop it on dimensionals. And then that can go however you want to, like that. Perfect. So I've brought in a little heart because I wanted to share a bit of love at Christmas time. And this stamp set has got so many cute elements in it. And that's the lovely heart. Beautiful. Really like this one. Again, wasn't on my radar, and then for some reason I bought it. I'm just going to stamp off the cherry cobbler, so not getting it full strength. And I'm just going to stamp a couple of hearts round about the way, somewheres, wherever you feel like doing them. So let's stick that onto the base, I think. Let's go ahead and do that next. This is my card base. Evening Evergreen is just such a gorgeous Christmas colour. And that really makes it pop, doesn't it? Take a bit of scrap white. I always keep my scraps in a box as well. My scrap white is always just kept in one of these boxes. When it gets a bit full, I have a bit of a clear out. Ah, thanks, Anita. Get rid of the smaller bits, maybe donate some, and then I can kind of start again. So I'm just going to go Christmas wishes, seasons. Oh, actually, I might go seasons greetings. Just a bit of different on this one. And that's going to be in Evening Evergreen as well. Try and line the bottom up. Oh, it's a bit strong on one side and not on the other. I don't know what's gone on there. It's better. Seasons greetings. Oh, you can't even see what I'm doing. I need to bring my camera towards me. Let's do this, and then I can work in the normal place rather than trying to reach halfway across my table. Okay, so seasons greetings. I'm going to use a big pair of scissors to just chop this up. By eye. Obviously, you can take as much time as you want to get this really straight. I'm just kind of winging it. And again, you could pop this on dimensionals if you want to. I'm not. I'm just going to pop it flat down. This is my kind of simple card. Keeping it simple, getting them made, but really still looking quite effective, I think. Seasons greetings. Straight. Oh, thanks. Right, bit of gems. Can't have a Christmas card without a bit of bling, can we? And I've got these lovely red and, well, did you know what these are called? Red and green adhesive backed pearls. But there's red, green, gold and silver. I must admit, they're all lovely. All gems, I know. Pretty, pretty. And the green ones are really pale green. So they'll go with a lot of different things. So I'm going to go. Do you know what? I didn't put any gems on my stepped up version. That was a bit remiss of me, wasn't it? I might actually go green. Why not? I did gold on the last one. So I'm just going to do a bit of green bling. Where can that one go? Can go in the middle there. Just a little bit of bling to zhuzh that up. So that's our kind of, it was based on a sketch for the Global Design Project, where it had really kind of just a bit of background, an element in the left-hand side, a piece of paper down the bottom, and that was just following the sketch. And then I thought, well, I want a bit more on there, because you know me, always got to have a little bit more. So I brought in some more of these, so I cut more of those. Then I brought in some of the dies, because the dies for this leaf are beautiful. I'm just going to turn the grid paper over because I don't like working in a mess. You can't see what's going on. This is the dies, how it cuts out. I will show you them. But look, oh, look at this. This is cut out of the gold, the Evening Evergreen sparkly paper. And it comes with Evening Evergreen, gold and white, I think. Yeah, I just thought I wanted to put some hearts on it, Louise. I mean, I don't really know why. It's a Christmas card, but I don't know why you can't have. I don't know why you can't have hearts on it. So the dies, let me show you those because they're quite cool. They're quite cool. Big set of dies. Oh, that is out of something else. Everything's got a bit messed up in my class today, but it's all good. All good. As long as it's all still there, which I think it is. We had a bit of a check through. So you get all of these dies in with a set, and I love this one, this label die. Beautiful. You've got the holly berries, and this one here cuts out like a background to these two, so you could have it in two different colours. These cut out the stamped images, but also go around the same shape as these, so you can cut a background and a foreground of those, and you get two little extra sprigs, which are quite nice. I could add some of those in as well if I felt like going absolutely bonkers. So while we're here and got the snips out, I'll just fussy cut a couple of these. I can see me fussy cutting all of these out and using all of them. They're so pretty. I'm working on something at the moment. I don't know if I should show you, but if you're good and you ask me nicely, I'll show you. So do you want to see my secret? It's not finished. It's like the beginning of a project, but I can show you what I'm thinking of. I'll show you what I'm thinking of making. What I'm halfway through making, if you want to see it. Other people have asked me, when you fussy cut, how do you go around all those intricate bits? And the answer is just leave a border, leave a white border, and then you'll be able to, it'll have a bit more stability, and you won't be having to cut all the way into those nooks and crannies, which, do you want to, honestly, I think it's impossible. I don't think you'd be able to do it on a lot of them. Louise wants to see, I knew you would. I knew you'd want to see what I'm making or thinking of making. With this, it's with this set as well. Does anybody else want to see it? That's the question. I'm going to test whether you're actually listening now as well, or are you just, which I do sometimes, so I understand, have people on in the background and busy doing something else. which obviously I don't mind at all. Keeping you company. You're very nosy. Do you know what, Louise? As am I. My mum was always telling me off for being nosy as a kid. Would you stop staring? Stop staring at them. But I want to know what they're doing. I want to know what everybody's doing. So that's one of those. Oh, go on then. Go on then. That's enough yeses for me to be persuaded to show you. So once I've cut this one out and I've got some leaves and some flowers, I'll show you and I'll kind of hold it together and show you what's in my head. You might not want to know what's in my head most of the time. Madness. Okay. I'm surprised to see so many of you here tonight. I thought I told you last week I wasn't going to be here. And I thought, oh, no, made a mistake. I am on this week. Which is good. Thursday nights, loving my YouTube lives. Loving connecting with all you guys. Okay. So that's that one. And then just this little bit. So like I said, because it goes off the page, you can think, oh, I can't use that one. You absolutely can. You just need to be mindful of where you place the other one. So the other one's going to have to go over the top of this to hide this leaf. Probably. We'll have a look at that when we get it all onto the paper. And I'm not being very accurate, but I'm not being very fussy with my fussy cutting. Okay. So we've got two of those. We've got our strip of design safe paper. We've got some leaves. And then I'm going to decorate one of these. I'm going to decorate a nice candle. It's a candle, look. Pillar candle. And I've got this border, this die here. And I was like, the other day, I was like, what on earth can I do with this die? I need to wrap it round something. That's what it looks like. So I found a use for this. And I'm thinking this. Zoom you out, I might see it a bit easier. I'm thinking this. Maybe some of these evening evergreen leaves behind it. Pretty, huh? So, wonder where this could go with us. The only thing I will need to do is write a warning on it to tell whoever is, you need to take this off before you burn the candle. Because that could go all sorts of wrong, couldn't it? Can you imagine somebody lights the candle and doesn't take this wrap off? So, that's what I'm thinking of doing. I think they look really pretty for Christmas. Yeah, isn't it, Louise? And really, actually, you know what? Really quite straightforward, although I think I might need some more of this paper. So if Stampin' Up runs out of this paper, then you can see why, because I'm going to buy it all to cut it all out and put it all on these candles ready for Christmas. So there we go. That's what I thought I was going to do. Halfway through that project. Okay, so we've got another card base, another card blank. And we're just going to do the same thing. So we have to repeat the process. So it's a bit boring. You're going to watch me repeat the process to begin with, but then I'm going to add in all these different elements. We're going to do a bit of heat embossing on the wood elements as well. So that's going to be cool. I'll show you how to do that if you've not done that before. So let's just have a little clean up of that one. Then we can bring in our crisscross from the Apple Harvest. Stamp off a few times. Trying to keep it straight, that's probably the hardest thing, because it's a bit of a funny old stamp, this one. So So I'm coming a little bit higher than I did on the other one because the whole focal point is going to be that much bigger. So I'm just coming up a little bit higher than I did before. And honestly, you're not going to see much of this background because I've covered it all up. But that's all good. That's all good. So a little bit of soft succulent with this one again. And we're just... I don't even know if you can even see this. We're just having a bit of a fun stamp with it, to be honest. Like I said, most of this is going to be covered up. A little bit at the top. And then I'm going to go in with the heart now. Let's do it now. And that was in Cherry Cobbler. I'll stick the designer series paper on first, I think. My light's a bit glary, or are they good? It's all a bit new to me, this whole lighting. It looks a little bit glary, but I can't tell. So I'm going to be brave. I'm going to ink this up. And I'm going to go for it and stamp those down first. And it doesn't matter if my elements cover that up. So rather this time than having a stamped leaf, I've just got 2 of these. I've got some of these leaves. I think the white are quite nice because it just adds that texture and that depth to the piece without it kind of overcrowding or taking away from this focal central point that we've got down here. So, and already you can see how different that is than this one. But we're going to keep going. So I've got these. I'm just putting those there for now. We'll see what they've placed them down properly in a bit. So these little wooden elements are lovely, but sometimes you don't want them wood. Sometimes you don't want them wood coloured. So I'm going to show you how to heat emboss those using some gold heat embossing powder, the Versamark ink and a heat tool because I want them gold. So what I'm going to do is just take my element. Oh, I shouldn't have let that drop. Figure out which way round you want it because there's 2 different shapes. I want it to come out a little bit this way. So I'm just going to turn that over and really, really gently. They're quite brittle. I've managed to break one. So just be a little bit gentle with them. These twiggy bits can snap off if you're a bit heavy-handed. And then that's got the embossing powder on it. Oh, thanks, Mary. And then all you're going to do is throw it in the embossing powder. Cover it up. Take it off. Give it a little tap. That's where I broke it, where I tapped it too hard. And then you can heat set that one. Use a pair of tweezers or something. Don't hold it with your fingers like I'm going to because you might burn yourself. Oh, that's my light gone off. I took the wrong... I meant to unplug my computer. So depending on how embossed you want this, that's now all gold and shiny. I don't know if you can see it. Come on, light, do your job. There you go. So that's now all gold and shiny. You can do that again as well. So you can do a double layer. You just put that back into the Versamark, ink it up again, pop it back into the embossing powder. If you didn't get a really good coverage the first time round, but that for me is really pretty. So we're going to go with that one. And I thought that could just fit underneath, just like that, something like that. Add a little bit of je ne sais quoi to the piece. Then I thought we could use some ribbon. Now, ribbon's a bit funny on cards. I made this one as well, which I haven't really shared anywhere yet. I think it's coming up on my Facebook later on, but it's not a blog post. And I went all out with the ribbon. So I thought I didn't want to go that far out with the ribbon. And what I've done is just taken a length of it long enough to tie a bow. So go as if you're going to tie a bow. So about that long. Chop that. And now it's a bit fiddly, but I think it's worth it. Bear with me. You want to chop off the bottom bit. So we're just chopping off the bottom bit of the ribbon all the way along. Try to chop your finger off. Okay, so we've chopped that kind of end seam off the ribbon. And what we're going to do is just take the ribbon apart. You're like, what is she doing? She's gone mad. And just all the way down, kind of separate all those fibres. Can you see how it's all kind of coming apart in my hands? And that's what we want. We want all those fibres. It's not the quickest thing to do, but I do think it's worth it. It gets easier as you come down the way as well. Getting them going is the hardest part. And then you're left with two things. You're left with a fringe. See, now they'll just start to pull much easier. Okay, so you've got a load of fibres in one, and you've got a fringe in the other. So you can use the fringe for a project as well. We're actually going to use these bits. So I've tried to keep them as much together as I can. And I'm going to tie a bow with them. So the hardest part is when it gets around to here, and all I did was grab my snips, push that through and pull. Not like that. So go through, hook them and bring that out. And then tie a bow, and you get that really nice. I don't know, I just thought it was really effective. What do you reckon? Worth the effort or not? And then just trim the ends off. Might be a bit long, that actually. Might be a bit long. Let's trim a little bit more off. I just thought that was something a bit different. Really pretty. So then it's just time to assemble this, and we'll stamp another greeting as well. Let's get all the... Can I get away with Season's greetings? No, it doesn't look right. Just going to stamp it on the back here. Oh, you like it? Inventive. I have seen it done before. Certainly not my idea, but with this, I haven't seen it done exactly like that with this ribbon. I've seen the tassels being made, loads like the frayed, but must admit, I'm not sure I've seen anybody do anything with the leftovers from the tassels. But that looks really pretty as well, like a little hula skirt almost, isn't it? So let's stamp our sentiment. Some ribbons it works with, some ribbon it doesn't, but it really works well with those naturally fibre ribbons. Okay, so Season's greetings. It's not too bad. It's a bit hit and miss how straight these go when I do it like this, you know. Just adding in those little extra elements to make this a bit of a stepped up card. That's what they call it when you've done more of a simple design and then you go stepped up. So I'm going to stick these two down first. They're roughly the positions I want it in. Just going to clean that nozzle off. Now I've got all gluey fingers. Now with these ones, I'm not going to stick them down all the way to the ends. I'm just popping some glue on this end section because I want the other ends to actually lift up a little bit. Just to come off the page. And one of the ways you can do that is just to put glue just on that end bit there. And it means these bits here just keep raised a little bit. Adds a bit of interest, a bit of depth, rather than it looking all stuck down and all flat, which is quite nice. Okay, so we're going to pop this up on dimensionals. I'm going to try and figure out where I want this one. And the honest answer is I don't know. Maybe like that. Maybe like that. And then this one kind of like that. So let's stick that on there. I'm going to try and stick this down, leaving that one in place. I'm just going to use some glue dots. That's the best thing to stick these wooden embellishments down with. You just pop a glue dot. Again, just being gentle with it, don't want to break it. And they're the perfect size just on the heads of the berries there. And then try and figure out where I had it so that it fits with the... Must have been about there. So that it fits with the dimensionals is what I'm trying to say. Because you don't want the dimensionals on top of it because it'd be too big. And now I've got to try and fit that in again. Good luck me. Does that fit in there? something like that. And then this one's just going to go over. So you remember that leaf? That's the one that we cut off. Oh, hey Kathleen, nice to see you. Well, thank you for popping on. You're not late. You're just on time for you. That's all. And we're just, yeah, we've got probably about 10-15 minutes left. 10 minutes. Just finishing off. But we've been looking at stepping up cards. So you could put that on another raised up dimension if you wanted to, but I am going to dimension the greeting and I don't want it to go crazy. So let's just stick this down on one step. And just have that overhanging. It's nice how you get that leaf then kind of coming up here. Just really looks, I think it looks really pretty. So our bow is going to sit on the side there. Again, glue dot's the best thing to stick that down with. Oh, I know, Kathleen. Do you know what? I've been watching more television recently than I ever have because I really want to, yeah, really, it's really sad and almost needed to watch it in order to be able to process. And yesterday, watching the coffin being taken to Westminster Hall, I think that was a real moment for me. Yeah, it's been a sad old week. But, you know, a life well lived, like you say. So, a little bit of, I'm hoping this isn't too thick. Just perfect. So we've got seasons. And somewhere down the bottom, we're going to have the greetings. Maybe over here like this. Season's greetings. Not sure whether to tuck that in, have it laying over. I think laying over is nice. I'm going to go for gold. I'm going to go for gold gems this time. I didn't do gold on the last one. I haven't actually got any on the other one that I made. But I think it needs a bit of bling. So put one there, and maybe one down there. And then that can go on our card base. And doesn't that make it pop when you pop it on a card base? I just love how these leaves look at the back. Thank you, Anita. Thanks ever so much. Yeah, it's actually a really nice sweet to work with, I must say. It wasn't my choice. We get to vote on what we want for the stamp camps. The gnomes was my vote. But I'm actually really pleased I've been made to step out of my comfort zone a little bit. Thanks, Louise. So this was the first one we made for anybody who missed it. This one on the left here, nice and simple, bit of stamping, just one fussy cut, stamped, and I actually fussy cut that when I did it, so you don't even need the dies for this card. A little bit of embellishments and nice and simple card. And then this one where I've just brought in the other elements, the ribbon, the wood elements, and heat embossed that in gold and added a couple more layers on. So yeah, that's it really. I love stepping up my cards, and sometimes it can be really hard to think of how to go to this straight away. So start here and then go, oh, okay, so I've got a nice design. How can I add to it? What can I add into it? And then it steps up much easier than it would do if you just tried to go in straight for that one there. So that's it really. So the stamp camp is available. The link to purchase the suite, which is what you need to do in order to join the stamp camp, is in the description of this video below. Or just get in touch if you've got any more questions. You're like, I still don't get it. What is a stamp camp? Just give me a shout. It's a fabulous day filled full of crafting, all using this suite, and you get everything for free if you purchase it from me. So no extra money. Just buy the suite, and then you've got that. You get all your make and take packs, all your bonus projects, and you can get making with loads of inspiration from demonstrators around the world. But that is that. I don't think there is loads going on at the moment, but I'm not going to bore you with it. There's loads of offers. I sent out a customer email the other day. So check out my email or head over to the Stampin' Up website. All the offers and promotions are on there. Some weekly deals, some perfect partners, and right now, I will tell you this one, right now is a 15% sale off all of the stamp sets. So that's where I'm going to pop a little order in. Get myself a few goodies that I've been keeping my eye on. Oh, thanks, Louise. Oh, it's my absolute pleasure. Thanks, Anita. Thank you, Mary. It's been a joy, as always, to come on and craft with you guys. And thank you for coming, because it would be a bit boring if I was just sat here on my own. So it's really nice to have some company. I really appreciate your time. And I will be back in a couple of weeks. So I will pop a date on to my Facebook group on my Facebook page when I'll be back. But it will be the 4th of October, our next live here. So look after yourselves. Stay safe. I know 4th. No, 4th is a Tuesday, isn't it? So 4th, 5th, 6th of October. I'll be back and doing some crafting with you on a Thursday night. So yeah, look after yourselves. Take care. Stay safe. And I'll see you all again really soon. Bye, guys. Bye for now.